Today I'm replacing the crank position sensor on a 2011 BMW 328Xi. First step, remove this pan underneath the trans and this stiffening plate. There's just, you're going to use a 16mm socket, and there's 6 bolts that hold that on. You can see this is leaking everywhere, but this is not really, they really aren't interested in fixing that right now, so I'm just going to replace this sensor and show you guys how I do it. Alright, now up here bolted to the frame rail, there's this steel bracket. There's 3 nuts that hold it to the body of the car. There's one up there, one further forward here, and then one here. Pull that off and get this plate out of the way, and it'll give you a little bit more room, because where we're going to be working is right. It's kind of hard to show, but it's right up here, so you have to be able to get your arm up there, and it's real tight. It's going to be actually very difficult for me to show you what I'm doing. A lot of this is just done kind of by feel. You have to just reach up there and feel for the sensor, and then but I'll be able to show you what tools I use and kind of how I do it. So that's what I'm gonna do. First thing, yeah, I'm gonna pull this plate off here, just the 3 nuts, 10mm. All right, with that up out of the way, I'll show you where you reach your arm. You pretty much reach straight through here, up like this, and you can get your fingers on the crank position sensor. You have to feel around. You can't see anything, so this is just feel around until you feel the sensor, and then behind the sensor, or towards the closer to the transmission side, is where the bolt will be that secures it. This is the setup I like to use right here. Very short extension, a E10 inverted Torx. It doesn't have to be a very it can be this is the tiniest little ratchet ever, but you don't need much because it's an aluminum fastener. It's an aluminum bolt, so you can just get your arm up with this. If you're doing this on a hoist, this is something you can try, and it's tricky, but you can do it. I've done a lot of them like this. But if you're at home trying to do this on the ground, you're not going to be able to do this on your back with floor jacks. You just won't be able to do it. It'd be very, very difficult. You'd be better off pulling the intake, pulling the starter out of the way, and doing it from the top. That's much easier. It's a lot more work, but it'll be much easier. It'll be less stress. You'll be able to see that the sensor's in all the way, and the job will go a lot smoother for you. This is something you can do if you have a hoist and you've done it before, and you can sneak them in this way. But just showing you that this is possible. So you can so you get that screw out. You can actually get your fingers on the sensor and wiggle it out of there. It's not the most fun. Make sure you replace the O-ring on the sensor. I like to grease these up. Put some grease on the O-ring and stick it into place, and make sure this thing bottoms out on the on the crankcase before you start to tighten that bolt. You may have to rotate it a little bit and push, and then you can get a mirror. You can get a mirror and look up there and make sure it's lined up nicely with the make sure it's lined up nicely with the hole, the bolt that it has to go through, because there's no way to index it. You're just gonna have to kind of feel around and twist it until the bolt falls into place, and that's it. Tighten it back up. You should replace that bolt every time. It's very low torque though. You can get away with reusing it if you have to. It's a very low torque bolt. You just don't have to tighten it much. That little ratchet I was showing you, that's all you need. So that's it. Thanks.